And here we go again. A question I'm asked quite often as I'm going around on my travels is, how do we do a system backup? Windows often comes up when you get a new computer and say back up your system now, etc. And a lot of people don't bother at that point because they want to get in and use the computer. However, it is important really to have a backup of your computer, and it's so simple to do. I say simple, it's simple providing you have somewhere to back up, i.e. a second drive or a second partition on a hard drive, or you're prepared to have a lot of DVDs with the information on it. The average DVD is around about 5 gigabytes in size. Of course, that would take about 6 DVDs for your backup. Now that's easy because once it starts it will ask for another DVD when one DVD is full, and it will finish off. So whenever you have any problems with your computer, you can just click insert the DVD and run it from there. As I say, that will take about, on average, about 6 DVDs. If you have a partition on your hard drive, or you have an external hard drive for your backups, then make sure that's plugged in. And it is so simple with that scenario. We go to the control panel, and if you have the icon view like this, we need to click up on the backup and restore button. If on the other hand you're in the category view, then it's system and security, backup your computer, which we'll click on now. As you can see from the window that's just appeared there, we have a bit of space on my second drive, which is called the junk dump, because anything I have that I consider to be worth saving goes in there. And likewise, 3 months from now I'll go in there and think, what's this load of junk in here? However, this is what I shall use. It's a second drive, and what we can do in here, we can create a system image quite easily. It will ask you if you want on a hard drive or on one or more DVDs. As I said, it would probably take about 6 DVDs for this particular computer, but it would tell you how many once you start that process. However, I'm fortunate I have a second drive and I have quite a bit of space on it, so I'm going to use the space that's already there. Right, let's just close that for a second. We can create a system repair disk. We need to insert a disk into the DVD player or CD, and it will then reboot the computer, etc. So here we are. This is the basic window. We can schedule it. As you can see, by scheduling it, you can actually set it. I've got mine set for every Sunday at 7 o'clock in the evening. I can change those settings very easily. Ask me where I want the backup. Scheduling, you can turn it off or change the settings, or you can just click on the backup now. Once you've clicked up backup now, which I shall do, it will take about between 5 and 10 minutes to back up the whole computer. I've started, so I'll just pause for a second, and we can see the progress of the backup just slowly moving on the line. I'll edit this so as it's not boring for you. This, on average, it would take my computer normally about 6 minutes to complete a backup operation. And there we are, and that's the end of the backup sequence. That took just under 5 minutes actually. Now if we have a look at this, if we go into manage space, we can see that I've saved it on my junk dump as I've explained. You can view the backups, which I have the one there, so that's okay. And we can also save the amount of space. Now we have two choices in the system image section. We can let Windows manage the space used for the backup, maximum of 232 gigabytes. Well, I'm not prepared to dedicate that much space on a spare drive just to backups. So what I've done is selected the second option, which is keep only the latest system image and minimize space used by the backup. Now that seems like pretty good advice to me. I mean, it wants 232 gigabytes of my drive. The last drive backup that I did, system image was 24 gigabytes. Well, surely 24 is all I need, or thereabouts, maybe up to 30 for when I expand the programs a bit. That's all it takes to do a backup. We can go into system restore, which is the same sort of thing. I mean, obviously, if your system crashes, you need to be able to turn it on and access the files that are on your D drive. At the bottom of the window where we do the backup or restore, we can have restore my files, restore all user files, select another backup to restore from, recover system settings on your computer or your computer. If things have gone desperately wrong, then it's usually the recover the system settings on your computer you'd need to click, or restore all user files. The amount of space taken up obviously depends. I had a computer I repaired just recently. He had 40 gigabytes of photographs, so even with compression that backup is going to be quite big. But in saying that, at least he will have a backup to restore. If you do nothing, you'll have nothing. If you do something, you'll have something. It's as simple as that. It's very easy to use, and it should be. You set it up to save your settings once a week at least. If you use a computer quite a lot, then once a week. If you don't use it too much, then maybe just once a month you could set it for. But that's all it takes to run system restore and system backup, and people shouldn't be afraid of it. Unfortunately, the only criteria you need is a lot of DVDs for the backup if you're recording it to DVDs, or an external or second hard drive in your computer in which to save the backup on. The rest of the system is quite automatic. So there we are. I hope you've enjoyed this very short demonstration, and hopefully you'll subscribe to my channel, which is Howard L. Hall on YouTube. Thank you for listening.